Okay, hello again. I was running out of time in that last clip there. I only have 10 minutes per video per YouTube. So we're going to just look at a couple more sentences and then we'll close out our discussion. Um, let's look at question 6. The original read, or statement 6, the original read, be quiet, don't interrupt, and listen to these important instructions. Now, there may be a time and place that we do have to communicate like that. If we're part of a team and there's a certain comfort level, we might be able to get away with saying those things. But again, we always want to account for our tone, our word choice, and how we're saying things. So in the best of all possible worlds, what would be a you-viewpoint approach to this sentence? So be quiet, don't interrupt, and listen to these important instructions. This student wrote, the following are very important instructions. Please feel free to take notes for later reference. A question and answer period will be available at the end of the presentation. Very good, very effective you-viewpoint response. So what this student in his or her response acknowledged was to the recipients, you're going to be receiving some important instructions. You're welcome to take notes for later reference, and then a question and answer period will follow, which acknowledges implicitly that for the recipients, you might have questions and they'll be addressed. So very good response there. Let's take a look at another one. I think I said we weren't going to look at all 10, and we might have. I don't know. I've lost track now. But your responses on the whole, I want to say, were very good, and I was very pleased with what I was seeing. If we tone down the negative word choices and the apologies and look at our tone and the placement of our ideas in sentences, then we're targeting you-viewpoint communication. Let's go back to sentence 5 because I liked what this student actually wrote. As you recall, sentence 5 said, what did you do to this CD player? So we have kind of an accusatory tone there. I'll have to charge you at least $25 to repair it, and it could be as much as $50. Not a real you-viewpoint strategy there, is it? This student wrote her response, or his response, good news. Your CD player can be fixed, and it won't cost you any more than $50. Now, the amount, we could probably go buy a new CD player if we were so inclined for less than $50. The amount of money was really of no consequence for this scenario. But what the student wrote in the response was, good news. So right away, we don't open with, unfortunately, or what did you do to this CD player? We open with, good news. And so that frames the communication positively. So we're emphasizing the positive here. Good news, your CD player can be fixed. Perfect. That's what the consumer would want to hear, right? And it won't cost you any more than $50. We could have said $10 or any other amount. As I said, the amount, though, is incidental really to the you-viewpoint tone that we wanted to establish here. Just looking at my time here. Okay, we're good to go. And this is the last sentence we're going to look at. Sentence 10, the original read, your work isn't meeting the standards set by our organization. What's your problem? Not you-viewpoint communication. You-viewpoint communication, is it? First, you have to learn how to say it. Your work isn't meeting the standards set by our organization. What's your problem? So again, we have something accusatory there. That is not the kind of statement that would build goodwill, is it? I liked this student's particular response. The amount of work you're producing is great. How about we meet this afternoon to revisit the organization's expectations to really bring your work to a higher level? Let me reread that. The amount of work you're producing is great. So we're not talking about the quality. You're being productive. You're producing a good amount of work. So we open again with what's positive. Very good. Very deft choice in terms of words and tone. How about we meet this afternoon? So there's an invitation there. So we're attempting to build goodwill. How about we meet this afternoon to revisit the organization's expectations to really bring your work to a higher level? So we have an invitation that's not accusatory, that's not negative, that's inclusive, and that's you-viewpoint communication. So as I said, on the whole, your responses were very well done. I enjoyed reading them. I always enjoy, when I do this assignment with students, I always enjoy the responses. So things to keep in mind about the U viewpoint. And as I said in the first video clip before the course started, the U viewpoint is the overarching theme of our course. We want to cut down on the negative word choices. Remember, just because we have to deliver a negative message doesn't mean we use negative words to do so. Watch our apologies, because apologies don't really, now there are such things as such thing as genuine apologies, but apologies may not advance the needs of our message and the needs of our recipients. So watch those. Get rid of that word unfortunately from your vocabulary, and start thinking about how you can, in your messages, in striving to be you viewpoint, stress the positive. I think there was an old song from the 40s called Accentuate the Positive. And that's just what we want to do in our U-viewpoint communication. And as I said in the first clip, when we were talking about the U-viewpoint in general, it can seem forced. It can seem artificial, but it shouldn't be. And the more you do it, the more natural it becomes. And you might be a person who says, give it to me straight. Give me the bad news first. Maybe you're the kind of person, like I am actually, when you log on to Amazon, you read the negative reviews of a book or a product or a piece of music first. That doesn't mean everybody's that way. So again, we want to assume with our U-viewpoint communication that our desire is always to establish and maintain goodwill. Okay, so thank you for listening, and I will leave you with that thought, and I'll be in touch again real soon.